So friends, have you ever wondered that a volcano doesn't form suddenly, but behind it lies not just thousands, but millions of years of a slow yet powerful story? The Earth may look calm on the outside, but inside it is filled with intense turbulence. And one day, this very turmoil takes the form of a volcano. Now the question is, where does the entire process of a volcano actually begin? In reality, the Earth's outer surface is not a single solid layer. Rather, it is divided into several pieces, which we call tectonic plates. These plates keep moving very slowly all the time, so slowly that we don't even feel it. But when these plates collide with each other, or move apart, or when one plate slips beneath another, a massive change begins deep inside the Earth. The molten rocks inside the Earth, known as magma, begin to slowly rise upward. This magma is so hot that its temperature can reach between 700 and 1200 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt everything in its path. Now imagine when such extremely hot, pressure-filled magma pushes upward, what do you think will happen? As the pressure keeps increasing, the Earth's surface begins to weaken, and eventually, a moment comes when the magma finds a way to break through and escape. As soon as this magma comes out onto the Earth's surface, it is called lava. And once it's outside, this lava begins to cool down. Gradually, it solidifies into layers, and over time, a mountain-like structure is formed, which we call a volcano. But the story doesn't end here. Every time new lava emerges from within, these layers keep getting thicker, and the volcano continues to grow in size. In other words, a volcano also grows over time. Now let's talk about the most dangerous part. When the pressure inside rises beyond limits, it leads to a volcanic eruption, the explosive outburst of a volcano. During this, it's not just lava that comes out, but also burning gases, ash, and fragments of rock, ejected at such high speeds that an entire area can be devastated within seconds. Sometimes, these eruptions are so dangerous that a dense, burning cloud rushes rapidly over the ground. This is called a pyroclastic flow, and it destroys everything in its path. And if there is snow or wet soil around the volcano, the heat from the eruption melts it. And the water, ash, and soil combine to form a fast-moving mud flow-like flood called a lahar, which can sweep away entire cities. But a volcano doesn't erupt only because of colliding tectonic plates every time. Many times, the real cause behind it is the dangerous pressure of gases, such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. These gases remain trapped inside the magma, and when they try to escape, the eruption becomes even more violent. Besides this, small cracks and weak zones in the Earth's surface can also provide a pathway for this magma to rise. And then, suddenly, even a calm place can turn into a volcano. And the most surprising thing is, this process is still continuously happening inside our Earth even today, which means somewhere a new volcano might be forming right now. And when it erupts, it's not just a natural event, but a display of a force far greater than human imagination. But did you know that not every volcano is the same? In fact, they each have their own distinct personality. Some are calm, flowing slowly and steadily, while others are so dangerous that a single eruption can wipe out everything. Now, let's explore the different types of volcanoes and the true power they hold. First comes the shield volcano. Just like the name suggests, its shape resembles a shield, wide, spread out, and not very tall. What makes them unique is that the lava they produce is very fluid, meaning it can flow rapidly like water. That's why their eruptions don't seem very violent. Instead, they spread gradually and cover large areas over time. A perfect example of this is Mauna Loa, one of the largest active volcanoes in the world, and it is still continuously active today. Now let's talk about stratovolcanoes, which are also known as composite volcanoes. They are very tall with steep slopes, and their structure is quite unique, made up of multiple layers of lava, ash, and gases. But their real identity lies in their eruptions. The lava they produce is thick, so it doesn't flow easily, and when the pressure builds up, it results in a sudden, powerful explosion. This is why stratovolcanoes are considered the most dangerous. A prime example of this is Mount Fuji, not only Japan's tallest mountain, but also a sacred symbol in their culture. Now let's move on to the third type, cinder cone volcanoes. Cinder cone volcanoes. They are small in size, but they have a distinct style of their own. They experience frequent small eruptions where fragments of lava, ash, and rocks are thrown into the air and then fall back to form a cone-like shape. So they may be small, but they can remain continuously active. An interesting example of this is Pericutine, which suddenly emerged in a farmer's field, and within just a few years grew into a full-fledged mountain. And now let's talk about the most unusual type of volcano, fissure volcanoes. They don't look like the traditional mountains. Instead, they appear as long cracks or fissures on the Earth's surface. Through these fissures, thin lava flows out and spreads over long distances, covering vast areas. A historical example of this is Laki, where the eruption in 1783 was so massive that it altered the climate and life across the entire region. Now that you've seen these different forms of volcanoes, a bigger question arises. Do volcanoes bring only destruction? Or are there some hidden benefits as well? The truth is, as dangerous as volcanoes can be, they can also be incredibly useful. When a volcano erupts, the lava, ash, and toxic gases it releases can often cause massive destruction. Entire cities can be destroyed, lives and property lost, and sometimes they can even trigger disasters like earthquakes and tsunamis. Besides this, gases like sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide spread into the atmosphere, affecting the climate, and can even alter global weather patterns. But there's another side to the story as well. The ash released from volcanoes, called volcanic ash, contains many essential minerals, which make the soil extremely fertile. This is why some of the most fertile lands in the world are found in volcanic regions. Not only that, volcanic regions also provide us with geothermal energy, meaning electricity can be generated from the Earth's heat. And the most astonishing fact, when volcanoes erupt under the sea, the lava that comes out cools immediately upon contact with water and gradually accumulates to form new islands. So while volcanoes can destroy everything in their path, they can also create new land. And now imagine if one day a new island suddenly emerges in the middle of the ocean and humans set foot on it. What would that place be like? And as this lava keeps flowing out continuously, it gradually piles up into a tall mound, until eventually it breaks through the ocean's surface and emerges above the water. And that's when a new island is born. Meaning, where there was once only water, there is now solid land. A fascinating example of this is Surtsey, which was formed near Iceland from just a single volcanic eruption. Imagine a brand new island emerging right before the eyes of humans. Similarly, Krakatoa was formed through volcanic activity, and it was so powerful that the sound of its eruption was heard thousands of kilometers away. And if you look at the world map, the Hawaiian Islands themselves are proof that volcanoes don't just cause destruction, they can also create new worlds. But the story doesn't end with islands alone. When lava flows and spreads over long distances, it creates vast lava fields, like Hawaii's Big Island, or the vast black plains of Iceland, which were once flowing molten lava. And many times, this lava also takes the form of a mountain, like Mount Fuji or Mount St. Helens, which were shaped and transformed by the force of eruptions. Now, just imagine, what if a volcano collapses in on itself? When the upper part of a volcano collapses inward after a major eruption, it creates a massive crater called a caldera. These can be so massive that lakes can even form inside them. And not just that. When lava flows, the top layer cools quickly and solidifies, but the hot lava beneath continues to flow. And when all of it flows out, it leaves behind a long tunnel-like structure called a lava tube. Such mysterious caves can still be seen today in Hawaii and Iceland. So it's clear, volcanoes don't just destroy, they also create new land, new mountains, and entirely new structures. Now, if we look at the whole world, there are around 1,500 active volcanoes on Earth, and thousands more that are currently dormant, but not entirely extinct. Most of these volcanoes are found in a specific region, known as the Ring of Fire. It is a vast region that stretches all around the Pacific Ocean,
and nearly 75% of the world's volcanic activity occurs here. This is because several major tectonic plates meet here, collide with each other, and continuously create intense geological activity. Countries that fall within this ring of fire include Indonesia, Japan, Philippines, Chile, United States, Peru, and New Zealand. And that's exactly why the volcanoes in this region are considered among the most dangerous in the world, such as Mount Pinatubo, Mount Fuji, and Krakatoa. Especially Indonesia, where the highest number of active and dangerous volcanoes are found. And now, here's another surprising fact. If we talk about the largest volcano on Earth, the biggest one on land is Mauna Loa, which is biggest in both area and volume. But if we talk about underwater, then Tamu Massif is considered the largest underwater volcano in the world. And if we look closer to our own region, the only active volcano in the Indian subcontinent is Barren Island, which is located in the Andaman Sea and is still active today. Meaning, in every corner of the Earth, somewhere, this fire is still burning. And the most fascinating thing is, the Earth is far more alive than we imagine. Now just imagine, if in the future a supervolcano erupts, one powerful enough to change the entire world, what would happen? And now a very interesting question. How do we get such accurate information about volcanoes in the first place? Because the truth is, we can't go near every volcano and observe it directly. Yet we still know what's happening inside it, when it might erupt, and how dangerous it is. But how do we know all this? The answer lies in a special field of science known as volcanology. It is a highly advanced branch of geoscience in which every aspect related to volcanoes is studied in depth, such as how they form, their different types, the flow of lava, the causes of eruptions, and most importantly, identifying the dangers they pose. And the experts in this field are known as volcanologists.
Their job isn't just research. They constantly monitor volcanoes to keep people safe.
Imagine if a volcano is about to erupt and you know about it in advance. How many lives could be saved? That's why these experts use several advanced technologies. First, seismographs. These are instruments that record the movements happening beneath the Earth's surface. Because before a volcano erupts, small tremors begin inside the Earth, and these machines are able to detect those subtle vibrations. Next comes gas emission monitoring. When gases like sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide start releasing in unusually high amounts from a volcano, it's a strong signal that pressure is building up inside. And the third most high-tech method, satellite imaging. Through satellites, scientists can detect even the smallest changes on a volcano's surface, like ground swelling, the formation of cracks, or a rise in temperature. By combining all this data, experts can estimate when an eruption might occur, and alerts are issued in time to ensure people can stay safe, so that people living nearby can be moved to safer locations, and the damage can be minimized as much as possible. But there's one very important thing that everyone should know. Even after a volcanic eruption ends, the danger doesn't disappear. Many people think everything has calmed down, but in reality, the activity inside can still be ongoing. Small eruptions, toxic gases, and unstable ground, all of these can turn deadly at any moment. That's why going near a volcano without proper permission or accurate information can be extremely dangerous. Because it's not just a mountain, it's a force of the earth that can change its form at any moment.
And now that you've understood this entire mystery of volcanoes, ask yourself one question.
If you ever got the chance, would you want to go near an active volcano? Or would you prefer to feel its power from a safe distance?